back. Sorry for the delay. We've got Special Agent Blob versus Marci Beaucoup coming up next. Should be a fun series between the top two teams of our WEX division, which is our middle MMR bracket. And give us the picture of who's going to be setting themselves up at the top of the bracket to start things off. Should be a fun one. Marci Beaucoup finished third in the bracket for WEX division, or for Crown division last year. Looks like they had a little connection issue with the lobby, so it might be a few minutes longer. It looks like they were able to retry making the draft real quick. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Draft for you in a second. But yeah, Marci Beaucoup, they had a rough group stage last year, but then really showed up in the bracket in the middle division. Ended up finishing third. They made it through the top of the bracket to make it to the upper bracket finals, and then ended up getting eliminated in the lower bracket finals. So yeah, they're definitely favorites in this division this year. They're looking pretty good. I'm excited to see what they've got going for themselves. Special Agent Blob on the other side, they're a completely new team. Some names that you will find familiar from the league, but not players that have played together as a team. So they're in an interesting spot of being the highest team MMR in the division, but probably having less time playing together, less experience as a team. So I'd say, despite their slight edge, I'd probably favor Marci Beaucoup a bit in this series, but we'll see how it goes. All right, let's hop into our draft with all of that laid out. Yeah, so we've got Special Agent Blob on the Radiant side, Marci Beaucoup on the Dire. I think Marci Beaucoup won the coin flip and took last pick, if I'm remembering right. So we've got similar bans to what we were seeing in our last series. Lich, Abaddon, and Nyx. Or the Lich never got banned out. But it should have been, arguably, because Logano's Lich is really good. And it's a really good support right now, as we've been saying. The Viper gets taken out in the first phase. The Chen is a new ban, and that is a ban directed at Strilling of Special Agent Blob. They are a known Chen specialist. Bristleback going to get taken out as well. One last ban to start things off. Still a few heavy hitters in the meta being left in. The Dragon Knight, the Alchemist. We didn't see the Alchemist touched last series. I imagine the two teams just don't really play it, or had their priorities elsewhere. Curious if we'll see that show up in this series.
Radiant's pick.
Shadow Shaman going to be the last of the bans in this first phase. Marci played that a couple times last year. I definitely expect to see Marci Beaucoup go for the Dragon Knight if they can get it. It was one of their most played heroes across last season, and it's in a really good spot right now. Just getting so much damage in team fights with that splash damage, farming really well from the cleave.
Dire's pick. Radiant's ban.
Vengeful Spirit picked up, and Marci Beaucoup go right for the Pudge in the first phase. This was another one they played quite a bit, 4 games last year. Only a 25% win rate with it, but I think that's because they played it more in the group stage when they were still finding their footing in the league. Excited to see this. I don't remember. Let's look quick. I think this is a bit of a flex pick for them. I think they have a few Pudge players. And I think that's why they tend to pick it early.
10 seconds to go.
Let's see.
5 seconds.
They played it position 4 for Seth Lord. Last game they played it. Check one other game. Okay, it looks like it's a Seth Lord special. They might have some flex with it. But the 2 games I looked at quickly, it was a Seth Lord. You get the gyrocopter taken out by Special Agent Blob,
Dyer's banned.
as well as the Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker's another big top of the meta carry. No surprise seeing that removed from the equation. See what else Marci chooses to take out of the draft here. Yeah, that is, it's the disadvantage for Special Agent Blob of not having as much experience playing together, but it's also the advantage of it being harder to ban. You kind of just have to go for the meta heroes or their most played heroes without really knowing how exactly the team is going to come together. Once we see what positions they're playing, we'll have a better idea. It's going to be the Lina, so yeah, there's another just like high up in the meta hero. Flex between mid and safe lane. Overall, good ban.
5 seconds.
Do what Marci want to partner with this Pudge. Probably something pretty traditional out of the safe lane. Probably something with control to set up the hooks. It's going to be Lion. Yeah, very straightforward answer. Nice control. A little greedy out of the position 5 role, I think, is the only problem you can run into with the Lion position 5. Just is the kind of hero that needs a Blink Dagger really fast, and so he's not going to have those early items, or it's just going to take longer to get to the Blink Dagger because you're not getting quite as much farm priority as a position 4. But overall, works perfectly fine. I think the two support roles are pretty close together right now anyway, and it mostly comes down to laning. Other than certain cases like Hoodwink being really good at picking up farm. It's going to be Beastmaster for Special Agent Blob. I could see that being a Strilling hero for the off lane, kind of in place of the Chen. I don't know if they play much core other than Chen.
5 seconds.
I know they like to play their Chen as a core. But I forget if other than that they mostly play support or what. I don't remember what all of these players on Special Agent Blob typically played in the past, other than I know Batman was usually a carry play. And that Bristleback ban from Marci Beaucoup, I think, is a bit targeted at Batman. I remember that being a big in here. I think there was actually a game last year. Could be remembering wrong. Maybe it was a different player.
Dyer's pick.
Okay, it was a different player. Somebody showed up for Marci Beaucoup and played a Lone Druid game. That looked really good. That was one of their wins in the stage. And it was a pretty big
10
one.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds.
I was thinking, was that in fact Batman? But no, I think Batman was just playing as a stand-in last year. Maybe he was on one of the teams. Maybe he was in the lower division. Usually ends up on a free agent. Get Clockwork picked up by Special Agent Blob, so probably you can swap your supports around either way. I think a Clockwork Beastmaster lane is perfectly fine. You've got enough kind of ranged options for the Beastmaster that it doesn't feel too bad as a double melee lane. But maybe you go with the Vengeful Spirit with the Beastmaster just to make sure. I mean, Vengeful Spirit is practically a melee hero too. Armor reduction with the boars could be nice. But also just more control for like the boars and axes to hit people is good too. So still plenty of options for how you want to lane this. Marci Beaucoup, they're going to need something that can deal with the Clockwork. I mean, I think Lion is going to help you. Or if the Pudge is in that lane, that's not bad either. They are going to take their Dragon Knight. No surprise there. It's just a really good hero. It's going to help you deal with the Zoo from the Beastmaster. That splash damage or cleave. I think that'll be the biggest factor here, and probably
10 seconds to go.
A good chunk of why they look to go for it. It looks like their other main carry was Wraith King last year. So Dragon Knight definitely in the better meta spot than Wraith King is. So
Radiant's
might not
pick.
even be seen as a particular entry of the draft. Then they're going to pick up the Tidehunter for their off lane. Solid option. Very, very straightforward heroes from Marci, Beaucoup, which I like to see. You know, your game plan is easy. You're playing around Ravage,
10 seconds to go.
jumping in. You've got tons of control. You've got so much control. Like I
Seconds.
think Special Agent Blob maybe want to look at picking up the Lifestealer or the Jug here. I think I'd prefer the Lifestealer. It's gonna be good at chewing through the Dragon Knight or Tidehunter. They're gonna grab the Quap. So they're gonna do the traditional draft strategy of when you have first pick, grab your mid laner at the end of the second phase, and then protect it with 2 bans, because no matter what, the enemy team is going to see your mid laner before they pick theirs anyway. So that would make sense. That's what they usually go for, and they're going to ban out the Spectre. A little bit of an interesting one. I get they're respecting the possibility of the Dragon Knight going mid, which I might be remembering wrong. Maybe Marci did play this Dragon Knight mid a lot last year, but I think it was very much. But, you know, let's check real quick. It definitely was a little bit more flexible of a hero last year. Right now, it's pretty locked in. Oh, they were playing it mid lane on Nephilion. Okay.
10 seconds to go.
So Sterling's doing their research better than I am. Yeah, it looks like that's actually usually an Nephilion hero in the mid lane. So yeah, good chance they are looking for a carry here, and then Special Agent Blob. Their draft's pretty straightforward, unless they've got something funky going on. Should be a carry getting picked up in the last phase for them. I still like the Lifestealer. You've got 3 tanky heroes. It seems like a no-brainer kind of Lifestealer game. I'd love to see Marci, Beaucoup ban that out. Slark is a really good ban there too, for the same reason. They'll go for the Ursa, so somebody else that's good at tearing through tanky heroes. OD gonna get banned out. Hey, surely you slammed Lifestealer. I think Lifestealer is a pretty common Batman hero too, if I'm remembering. Also just been one of the more picked heroes in our league so far. I mean, we're in this first week, so it's not a lot of games to go off of, but already picked in 6 games, behind only the Lich with 7. So
5 seconds.
Pretty popular one. Also, we're seeing a lot of Pudge. There's already been 4 Pudge picks in the league. It's crazy, because Pudge is not, like, in the meta. You're not seeing Pudge in pro games. But it's in the WLDL meta, which is even more fun. That's why you come here. If you're not playing, you're still seeing some very entertaining Dota coming out from these teams. Farther into the reserve time, I'm surprised they're not just slamming the Lifestealer. Maybe they're wondering why the Lifestealer didn't get banned. Maybe I'm missing something. I mean, you do have Dismember for BKB piercing stun, so it's not like it's not the freest game, but like you have the Beastmaster, you have the better BKB piercing stun. They almost random. They get right down to the end of it, and it's going to be PA. Okay, so we've been seeing a lot of Phantom Assassin in the pro. I feel like it leaves your team a little squishy. I mean, it's a ton of damage to be able to deal with this Tidehunter and Dragon Knight and Pudge.
10 seconds to go.
It also, like, it leaves the enemy draft a little awkward, because Tidehunter can't really build a Crimson Guard, which you might want to pick up against the PA. So that might force a Pudge or Dragon Knight to pick it up, which they don't particularly want to do. I mean, Crimson Guard's not super in the meta, so maybe you're not really thinking about that anyway. But I would probably look to pick this up if I was, like, the Pudge in this game. It's pretty good. Scales with your Flesh Heap, which is nice. Yeah, it means, like, Beastmaster Clockworker only takes Death Prophet is going to be what rounds this out. That's a nice little last pickup from Marci, Beaucoup. Ooh, you've got the blue Arcana for Spackle on the Queen of Pain. So this is a frequent Queen of Pain player. You've got Sterling on the Clockwork. Batman with the, like, Jester Persona set for PA looks great. Sterling rocking the same cosmetics as Rise was. And $G$ with the Venge Arcana, not the full Venge Arcana, but still the Venge Arcana, so we respect that. Cool set on the Dragon Knight, not the most common one, which I like. This Pudge set is sick. That one's a pretty recent one. Lion's a little plain. I like the Tide Hunter set. Death Prophet, I feel like there are no good Death Prophet sets. This one's fine. Hats on the whole, I gotta go with Special Agent Blob on the hats. The Pudge is pulling its weight. I do hate how that stomach on Pudge looks. It's terrifying and gross. um, but yeah, the full Quap Arcana is really a big winner for the hats draft. As for who I think I favor as far as the drafts go, I feel like Marci Beaucoup has a pretty straightforward draft to execute.
Daddy, chill.
Better get ready.
Like, you've got tons of setup for this Pudge Hook. You're gonna give Cephalord a pretty easy game. You've got a Ravage to Playground. You've got a Dragon Knight to... Oh, and this is... Which one's Nephilia? Yeah, they've changed names a little bit. And Talismanic, I think, was on the team a lot last year. Your name isn't ringing as much of a bell. I think Nephilion's great. Greg Polino's great Uncle Bailey. But I think that's a mid DP, and they are putting the Dragon Knight carry.
30 seconds to go.
And then, yeah, we'll see if these... I think this draft is pretty straightforward for Special Agent Blob as well. I think just a little harder to execute. Eastmaster, you see a lot of success in pro games, but he's got very specific timings that he has to play around, so we'll see how prepared Pointicus is to do that. And then other than that, they're really just making space for Batman, because that's going to be your be-all, end-all win condition. Like, Spackle and Pointicus's job, along with the supports, are kind of just to survive this early game and all of the pressure that you're going to have from the 2 through 5 on the Marci Beaucoup side. Like, they've definitely got the tools to make space. You'll probably want to do a little hunting of the Dragon Knight. This should be a good one. I think both teams are set up for success. They do look for this early catch onto Strilling. Immediately going for the bullying. Got the Blood Grenade. Hook is going to go wide. Relapse Gamer still on top of Strilling, though. And they bring this Clockwork down a little too fast. And Strilling throwing out a tip on Cephalord out of habit. Technically not allowed in the league, but the immediate apology, so... won't hold it against them too much.
I think not.
Looks like it'll be Cephalord and Relapse Gamer laning down here together. Strilling making their way back. So yeah, the PA Clockwork lane. PA not, like, kind of making... Oh, there! Cephalord gets their revenge with a tip with another hook. This time hitting Strilling is going to immediately reveal the vision. Or I guess was in response to Strilling starting to clear the vision. Also going to get a block on the camp now. Yeah, PA of all melee heroes to lean with the Clockwork is a pretty good one. Has range from the daggers and has the Blink Strike to be able to get inside the cogs. Is something sometimes are worried about. Ooh, it is a hookup Clockwork. I'm interested to see how this plays out with Strilling. Because normally we see the... What is it? Expanded Armature. I think is the name of the other facet, where you get the bigger circle of cogs. The hookup can play really cool. Gives you a little cooldown when you connect with an ally, which is nice. Also gives you a little bit bigger explosion of stun. Up top, this lane should also be your other straightforward. I feel like we're not going to see a ton of aggression any of these lanes. I mean, you've got a Pudge. If there's a lane that I'm expecting kills to happen in, it's going to be the Pudge. Because other than that, like, DP is going to have a super stable lane. Dragon Knight's going to have a super stable lane. Like, Marci Beaucoup kind of just picked heroes that it's very hard to lose lane with. Sterling is going to get some control on the Cephalord, and there's that Blink Strike to get into the cogs that we talked about. Batman trying to bring down Cephalord. Battery Belt still connecting. Need another couple shots, and the dagger will do it. That's going to be first blood. Relapse Gamer does get Batman's Courier in response. That is a full Wraith Band on there, so that's a little annoying for Batman, but certainly can't complain too much after getting the first blood. Sterling is going to deny picking up the Lotus. Now Batman hops in, getting damage into Relapse Gamer. This is a big fish to fry, and Sterling is getting brought down a little low. Hook now onto Batman. That's going to cause Relapse Gamer to back up, try to get the extra damage in there. It looks like everybody will be able to get away, but now both of Special Agent Blob's heroes sitting a little low. They'll be forced to back up a bit. Heal up. Sterling will go off to the side to pick up that bounty rune. Another hook from Cephalord, but Batman does have the Phantom Strike. Always have that option to get out of the rot. Sterling's going to keep on walking all the way up to this mid lane, where Spackle is off to a very good start against this Death Prophet. 16-0 to 18-2 in the last hits column. Tough start for Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey. See how they're able to recover this as they go. Top lane's been very quiet, but I'm not really surprised. And Dragon Knight, very hard to get pressure onto. You've got big stuns on both sides. Down bot. Trying to get more control onto Sterling, but the Cog is going to block off Cephalord's advance. Nice kick of the Cog. Get a little more harass in there. Always feels nice when you get that little extra value from kicking those cogs around. It's a really hard skill shot to do because it's entirely based on where you're standing and how you're facing relative to the cogs. It'd be fun if they gave him a facet that like gave you an ability that just let you like vector target, kick the that would be that would be so fun. I hope they do that. As a Clockwork enjoyer, that would be a really fun facet if they. I mean, it is already fun. As Cephalord looking to get more harassment onto Sterling. Trading battery assaults for rots. Now going to get trapped in the cogs, though. Cephalord is going to get punished. Batman jumps in with a Phantom Strike, and Sterling able to walk away on 0 health. Below 75. 2 kills down in this bot lane. 27 and 13 last hits and denies. Batman off to a great start in this lane. What is this robe of the Magi? Close of Haste, robe of the Magi, and brown. I guess just building int threads. Interesting. We're gonna get a very early smoke as the stacks are up, and it looks like they're sniffing this out. We're gonna find point against hitting the stack. Cephalord stepping up with the rot, throws out the hook. They've got the link. There's the Quap ult. It's going to immediately blow up Cephalord, and they're going to look for more. Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey is going to be able to manage to bring down Pointicus, and Raiden actually gets brought down by the neutral creep. Spackle has to run away to avoid getting killed off by the Ancients as well. Talismanic is going to go right up behind the tower, gets a big Dragon Tail in with the level 6 coming through, and brings down G$, y'all. They are going to continue going to work on stealing these stacks. Big thing to do against the Beastmaster. They're going to finish off Sterling, who wants to defend the stacks. As Relapse Gamer comes up here. Talismanic. They're bringing everybody up into the triangle here. 4 heroes here. Spackle getting brought low. One more hit would do it. Control of Great Uncle Bailey is going to go down. Raiden as well, so they're getting the punish here. Special Agent Blob able to respond to these stack steals. Talismanic is just going to ignore Relapse Gamer going down and try to get as much damage into these stacks as they can, but you're going to get punished for this. You're taking so much damage. Relapse Gamer as well is going down. Can they find the finish? They just need to connect with a few of these battery assaults. And yeah, they're going to bring down the Tide Hunter as well. The Marci Beaucoup, they managed to steal the large camp stack, but the big one is all of these Ancients. Yeah, this ward must have spotted this, and Marci Beaucoup not able to do enough to stop them. And they're going to go down and run down the Dragon Knight, bring down Talismanic.
You know the drill. Radiant's mid tower could use a hand. Dire's top tower's getting beat down.
Meanwhile, all of this has been space for Batman, who's at top of the last hits and top of the net worth now, even with all the other kills going on around the map. Yeah, Marci Beaucoup, they scan, they know that Pointicus is farming these Ancients. They saw the stack, but they cannot prevent it from being taken. Pointicus does have to be a little bit careful.
Radiant's bottom tower's seen better days.
Get some healing from the seeds. And slowly but surely does finish off that stack.
Tower ain't a pretty sight right now.
In a nice position for all three cores now on the side of Special Agent Blob. Talismanic is going to bring down this top tower, and they're going to bring Lino's Great Uncle Bailey up here. Pointicus sitting a little low after farming the Ancients. Raiden gets the stun, has the Hex follow-up, managing to slow. They cancel one TP. Quap is still going to connect. Spackle's up here as Relapse Gamer in the bot lane finds the kill on the Clockwork. Now they get the Roar out, and they're going to immediately punish that first ult from the Death Prophet. That's a big one. That's going to slow down the tempo of Marci Beaucoux's lineup, which is a big thing they need to do. That's the Roar. Still want to look for something here. Bird gets good damage in, but now Spackle there to back them off. Raiden forced to retreat. Down bot. That kill on the Venge, I'm guessing, was another Seth Lord hook. Pointicus with more Ancient stacks. Raiden wants to try to find the punish on this. Doesn't quite have the Finger of Death, which would make this mission quite a bit easier. They drop this ward here, which I love. That's how they know that Pointicus is still farming this, and that's why you see Raiden smoking on this. Talismanic going to join them as well. Get in behind, has the stun to set up, but now they turn. They just want the stack. They don't even want to try to find the kill, but Strilling's here. Does not want to see any more stacks get stolen. Raiden's going to be forced to TP away, but now Talismanic left out on an island. Has the Dragon Tail, but Strilling's right on top of them, and Talismanic's just going to go down. These stack stealing efforts not going Marci Beaucoux's way. Pointicus will be able to finish farming this up. It's another stack going. Sitting so low on health is going right for the Ags. Oh, wants that tier 1 token, but can't actually get to it. Cephalord is going to find another kill on $, y'all. They are finding some kills on some parts of the map, keeping this game pretty close. Relapse Gamer having a good start to their game. Working on the Vlads, we'll have that pretty soon. That'll help their farming a little bit. It's in the mid lane, looking to get some control on Talismanic. Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey. That's that Exorcism going. They'd love to get some tower pressure here. Cephalord setting up, leading the charge. Courier there waiting for $, y'all. Both teams kind of sitting, waiting to see what the other's going to do. They've got this... Oh, the hook onto Spackle, but immediately the blink wave stun up from $, y'all, and there's another huge wave of terror. Brings down Raiden. Strilling now in, but is immediately going to get torn down. All of those Exorcism ghosts still going. Talismanic getting rooted up. Spackle maybe looking for a way in. Cephalord hooks the boar. Not a bad grab. Not what you wanted, but not the worst. Spackle grabs the illusion rune right in front of Cephalord, is able to blink away. Relapse Gamer did finish up that Vlad's will go for the Blink Dagger next. And the Shard to have more control options for these annoying blinking cores. A good way to get them locked down. Working on the Dagon for the Queen of Pain. Pointicus back to farming these stacks. Looking to get that early Ags timing for the Beastmaster. Really accelerate their gameplay. They're playing this right. They're playing this the way that you are supposed to play a Beastmaster. I don't know if it's gone exactly how they want it to, but they're getting there. Strilling scouting out Raiden, but Relapse Gamer's up here too, looking for a good way to use that Ravage. It's going to get the cogs down. Battery Assault going, control up on a Relapse Gamer. Meanwhile, Talismanic, Dragon Kill out. There's the big Ravage from Relapse Gamer. Cephalord connecting in, Strilling with the hookup. But they are going to find Pointicus, and the Finger of Death brings down G$, y'all. Be 2 kills for Marci Beaucoup. Even in this out, getting themselves more in the lead on the gold. Wisdom Rune Strilling is going to... Oh, Spackle is going to claim it. Strilling, who is there to pick it up, is going to get stunned up, but the Scream of Pain is going to be enough to back them off for now, but Strilling getting controlled up. Oh, the hookshot does not quite connect on a target to escape. Spackle will get away, but Strilling will not. I'm calling this the wrong thing. Sonic Wave. Sonic Wave is that ability. Ooh, Batman looking to steal the Wisdom Rune. Cephalord is on top of it. Raiden forces Batman, cancel the TP. Batman actually canceling it manually to try to step away, but the slow from the dagger is going to give them quite a bit of space. Now with that narrow bridge, Cephalord wants to find a hook, but Raiden forced to walk in front of them. Able to get into the blur. Step away. Raiden still kind of on top of this. Throws the stun down. They have the idea of where she is. Pointicus is there, though, with the control. Now Batman's back in. On top of Raiden. Getting the crits in. Controlling up Pointicus. Doesn't have the roar available. Raiden dodging through the trees. Keeping Batman busy. Now Cephalord's back in with the rot. Stun up onto 2. Very nice connection, but Batman jumps forward with the Phantom Strike. Stays on top of Raiden. Now Cephalord trying to escape through the trees, but there's axes to chop those trees down, and they find the other support. Double kill for Batman. And Polino's Great Uncle Bailey stepping up here. Talismanic has shown up as well. But so have Strilling and Spackle, and now they're in trouble. Hook shot in. Jump forward. They're going to quickly blow up Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey. And Spackle wants more. Jumps forward onto Talismanic. Does have the Dragon Tail under the tower, but with all of these heroes here, Talismanic trying to get into the Dragon form, trying to dish out the damage, but it's just not enough. Still very early in the game for this Dragon Knight, and now the momentum back. Special Agent Blob. They take down their first tower of the game, the bot tier 1 tower on the Dire side.
The Dire best do something about that bottom tower. Have fun trying to bust down Radiant structures now. Radiant disown their mid tower.
Special Agent Blob getting some control, finding some stack steals of their own now. Batman up in the triangle.
Tower won't last much longer.
Wish I had stacking stats that I could show here. I don't know, maybe fantasy points to give you an idea. Absolutely not. The Yule's finished on Death Prophet with the... Not the fastest I would have expected you to go on Death Prophet. Normally you go the damage delay one. Nice stun from Raiden, but Cephalord is fully controlled up inside the cogs. Scream, Sonic Wave back onto Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey, trying to get out of there. Relapse Gamer with a nice Ravage, but there's just not enough. Batman is right on top of Raiden. Relapse Gamer trying to bring down Strilling, trying to get something for this. Will finally get him with the Anchor Smash. They have plenty of damage left. A big crit will do it. Triple kill for Batman.
Dire's mid tower's having technical difficulties.
this PA was quietly farming and still just has the Battle Fury looking at the BKB next.
Dyer's mid tower could use
But
a little
that's
help.
all the PA needs to start joining these fights. Normally you see a PA waiting to get a few more items, but with how much tempo Special Agent Blob have in their favor so far, they do not mind. Sephiroth gets a nice hook on Spackle under tower, but the blink away is always going to be there. Also have the Solar Crest coming in from Venge. $G y'all, and they're going to find a damage amplification rune for Spackle. Talismanic and crew find Batman. That's a huge kill that I wish I saw on my screen. Stun, Dragon Tail. I mean, this is the control. This is why this game is really hard for a PA. And really hard for anybody, is Strilling meets the face of that control as well. Because, yeah, any individual target is just going to get controlled up into oblivion. You've got the Blink Dagger available on Tide. That Aghanim Shard is going to do even more to keep these heroes held down in place. Name of the game for Marci Beaucoup is Control. We're seeing that come into effect, slowing down that Phantom Assassin. You do have the Drums of Slom done on the Beastmaster. So that farm's going to accelerate. We'll see if they try to use that to get an early Aegis. That's often what you see Beastmasters in high-level play doing. You get your Ags, you immediately go for Roshan. Pick that up pretty early. More stacks going. This team is crazy with their stacks. That's such a good way to, like, build your rapport with each other as a free agent team, is to just do a bunch of stacking. And I mean, Venge is one of the best stacking heroes in the game, as they're going to get some control, but interrupted by Strilling. Big Ravage is going to interrupt. Sonic Wave is huge. Onto a few. Now the Roar is going to bring down Relapse Gamer. Swap back to control up Sephlord. Going to have to turn around and finish him off now. Gets the hook, but it's not going to be enough to get out. Strilling hunting for more. And if they can find Talismanic. Greg Polino, Uncle Bailey up here as well.
You know the drill. Dyer's got one last top tower. Somebody iced.
And another tower goes down. More momentum for the side of Special Agent Blob. That lead continues to build up to a 7k net worth lead, 73% win probability on. Marci Beaucoup have to keep finding these kind of single target pickoffs. Because so far, even with the Ravage, the map control hasn't quite, or the crowd control, team fight, hasn't quite been there for them. We haven't seen this big, like, Ravage into everybody getting hit Exorcism and silences.
The Dyer might want to mine.
Gonna smoke up. They don't have Ravage available quite yet, but if they can find Batman... Oh, Raiden, I gotta see it. You can still find it, as long as you have your team here. Oh, that was the go. Not quite put it together. Lino's Great Uncle Bailey is gonna show up here. Smoke gets broken, so Batman goes into the blur when they're seeing. Sephlord, meanwhile, finding Strilling on the back. Spackle in, though, and able to hookshot out. Strilling able to survive. They bring down Sephlord. Strilling finally goes down. Raiden, though, gets blown up. Spackle now controlled up, but Batman's in onto Talismanic. Spackle has the Sonic Wave. Actually doesn't quite hit Talismanic. Finally going down. It's 4 dead. Only Relapse Gamer able to survive. Rich get richer here. Special Agent Blob finding another big team fight. Losing only Strilling, picking up 4 kills for themselves. And 2 of those going to Pointicus. Their 3 cores up the top of the net worth, and Venge hot on the tail of Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey.
Guess what's happening to Dyer's bottom tower?
And yeah, just going Solar Crest straight into Ags for $G y'all. Which, when you're a head-on farm, I do like Cephalord. The swap is huge! Oh my god, they turned that into a... That was... Spackle was dead to rights. They had all the chain control ready to go. And it just fully gets interrupted by $Y'all with that swap. And honestly, that, well, like, I don't know how intentional it was, because I would have swapped the Quap out there. But what's crazy, and looked really cool, and I will assume the best, and assume this is what $Sign meant to do. By swapping the Pudge, you trust that as soon as that's interrupted, your Quap is going to be ready to blink out, which is what happened. And then you also have the catch on the Pudge at the same time. So you get a save and a catch at the same time, whereas if you just swap the Quap out, you're saving the Quap but probably dying yourself. So, huge play from $Y'all. That was such a sick swap. Oh boy. I'm talking too long about this swap. Oh, the cores of Special Agent Blob are going on a tear. Spackle with a double kill. They're going to find Relapse Gamer here as well. Nice hook by Cephalord. That's going to save the Tidehunter. But Spackle with a double kill on two of the highest priority targets you have. Talismanic and Great Uncle Bailey.
Dyer's mid tower won't last much longer. Can't do nothing about Dyer's structures right now. Dyer's mid tower could use a little help. Dyer's mid tower's having technical difficulties. The Dyer couldn't hang on to that mid tower.
That's another tier 2 tower down as the lead climbs to 15k net worth. $15 is just taking advantage of the space that they have out on the map to get some farm for themselves, get that Ags ready as fast as possible. Got Vlad's Blink done on Beastmaster, Yasha finished going into Assange. Yeah, this is... Batman, I think, has the build in the right spot. I feel like we were seeing some weird builds on PA in some games, WLDL and pro games, where they like don't just go Battle Fury, BKB, SNY. I think that's been kind of the big one. Desolator getting a little out of fashion lately. Which used to be the like default one that you go for on the Phantom Assassin. Sometimes even before the BKB to have kind of bigger damage for early fights. Now they are going to go into the Roche Pit here. Plenty of damage between this Tricore of Special Agent Blob. Clean that up, give the Aegis to Batman. Meanwhile, though, they do finally find this Venge who's just been farming on their own on the other side of the map. So getting some punishment there. Is going to slow down the initial plays. Oh, Talismanic's in trouble. Oh, Talismanic's dead. As this Tricore of Special Agent Blob still playing up in this area. Trying to find the vision up here. I think they... Oh, it's over here. That's a cheeky spot to put the ward. They're all confused. They're like, but there has to be a ward here. Like, that's where the ward goes. And they had vision here, because they found... carry. I think they're just looking to set up onto Spackle. Do they have, Oh, the Spackle's looking to set up onto them, still playing around this ward. Relapse Gamer, though, is in with the Ravage. They were ready for this with the ward of their own. Cephalord gets the control. Follow up with the Earth Spike, but is it enough? They have the silence. Can they finish off Spackle? Blinks away, and now Batman's in. It's Cephalord who goes down. Spackle ends up blinking into trees, but still throwing out the pain. Out onto Relapse Gamer. Blinks, wait. I thought was dead to the Anchor Smash. No. Manages to survive on absolutely no health. Is going to heal up with the Dagon onto some creeps now. Get that full lifesteal. Or no, I guess they changed that. It's just you get 75% spell lifesteal on the Dagon shot. Because I think for a while it was like it has the spell lifesteal built in. But it says it's less spell lifesteal on creeps, but I think that's just the default how spell lifesteal works. But I think it used to be you got 100% spell lifesteal on creeps, and only the passive spell lifesteal on heroes. I guess now it's just 75% always. Yeah, $Y'all has now surpassed the farm of Craig Polino's Great Uncle Daly. As the Ag's finished, looking at the Aether Lens next.
The Dire best do something about that bottom tower.
And Marci Beaucoup have the sense they're playing in this area. Now they'll see them just clicking down this tower. Nice hook onto Batman. Do they have the follow-up control? But Strilling's in to interrupt, and it's going to be Cephalord going down, and Batman cannot even find this Aegis. Every time it looks like Marci Beaucoup's going to find something, the response is always there from Special Agent Blob. With the tower gone, they've opened up the door to take the Tormentor, get themselves a jetpack for their clockwork, and now they're kind of in full control of this map with all of the Tier 2 towers dead on the Dire side. Up spot for Marci Beaucoup. They're going to try to get out onto the map here, still waiting on Cephalord to respawn. A minute and a half left on Batman's Aegis, so Special Agent Blob still pretty free to play out here, and Marci Beaucoup, they're quickly going to be corralled back into their base. The Special Agent Blob make their way back out. Lapse Gamer almost getting caught out, but $Y'all not willing to commit the swap onto Tidehunter. Like these casual stats still hanging out in the $Y'all. Playing like the proper greedy position for here. Trying to transition into a core hero. As Uncle Billy in danger of getting passed by Strilling here too, who has Blade Mail, Burn of Shadows. Theoretically looking to finish out into the Spirit Vessel next. Marci Beaucoup looking for a way back into this game, but right now just looking for a way out of their base. Feeling fully penned in here. Gotta find somebody who can get out on the map to get some farm, but it's tough. Slim pickings here. Talismanic, gonna look to go out into the lane, but spots the blurred Batman. Actually, it looks like Marci Beaucoup, if they can find Batman alone enough here, it would be big. Special Agent Blob, they're already on their way in. Spackle coming in. They've got so much vision here. Immediately able to deward that. Talismanic now playing with fire. Batman's going to blink in. Relapse Gamer, though, has a nice response. But there's the BKB from Batman. The Sonic Wave. Oh, it's devastating. It takes down Talismanic. Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey able to survive for the moment with the Yules, but then gets brought down. Nice hook from Cephalord. Finger of Death means they will finally find a kill on Batman, but it costs 3 heroes to do so. And that means even with the Phantom Assassin down, the door is open for high ground to begin for Special Agent Blob. Pointicus and Spackle, they've got plenty of right-click damage on their own, plenty of harass into this tower. And that's going to bring down a full set of barracks in the bottom lane. That'll reset the Fortify for Marci Beaucoup. Should be enough to get them to their respawns if they choose to use it. Oh, they find the kill on the bench. Who's over here hitting the tower on their own. Trying to spread their damage across. Shrilling in with the hook shot all the way over towards the fountain. Trying to bring down Raiden. They get the kill, but also go down themselves. And they get the tier 3, so they've destroyed about half the base. Losing their supports, but don't seem to mind as they pick up another kill there. Marci Beaucoup now just trying to clear all of these creeps out of their base. Let's see, it's the full day on 5. Ag's next on the docket for Spackle. Blob Gamer does have that shard, trying to get to a Pipe of Insight. That would do a ton to mitigate the damage coming out from this Queen of Pain. Dollar Sign Y'all has finished. Oh, the Aether Lens! But Cephalord's Aether Lens means they're going to find a kill. Huge hook to bring down the Venge. It looks like they're going to be able to bring down the Ag's Illusion too. That's no Venge for 45 seconds. Got the beginning of the Roche respawn window starting here. Be on the Radiant side. It looks like Pointicus thinking about this. Is anybody thinking about that timer? Oh, it's a very early Roche respawn. If they had checked this right away, might have actually seen that it's up right away. But they'll just go get their Tormentor. Plenty of good shards to get. That's the best one you could ask for. Bouncing Magic Missile is massive. Especially when you've already got this Aether Lens. Full cast range with Eye of the Vizier. Having that in the main inventory instead of his Vindicator's Axe. Spackle right in on top of Talismanic. Hookshot in from Sterling, but immediately hexed up. Hook just misses onto the Queen of Pain. But now jumps in. Huge Sonic Wave again. Immediate blow up on Cephalord and Talismanic. Swap back on Great Uncle Bailey. They're going to go down to find Raiden for good measure, and it's only Relapse Gamer left alive who's off trying to pick up some farm. They have a couple buybacks available, but Spackle wants more. Spackle's found Relapse Gamer making their way back into the base, has the anchor to get the leash, but Sterling's right in behind. They've got the control. They bring down Relapse Gamer as well. And just like that, what turns into finding one turns into finding them all. And the backdoor protection, it's not going to be enough. The creeps roll in. Marci Beaucoup, they're going to be respawning. They'll have one last shot at turning this around. See what they can find. They'll have their Ravage available. They might need a buyback from the Tidehunter. They're going to smoke with 4. Mega Creeps are found. There's the buyback from Tidehunter. Do they respect it on Special Agent Blob? Relapse Gamer is looking for the Blinking in. Gets the Ravage onto 2. Hook onto the Queen of Pain. Can they control her enough? Can they bring her down? The swap in. They do finish off Spackle. Talismanic, though, is going to get torn apart by Batman. And now onto Cephalord. They're both gone. Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey falls to Raiden as well. Tidehunter, again, the only one surviving. That tanky Watermelon cannot be popped, but it's not going to matter. They don't need their Queen of Pain to bring down the Ancient. GG is called. Game 1 goes to Special Agent Blob. Their debut as a team, winning it in pretty decisive fashion. 45-19, 36 minutes. Big win for Special Agent Blob. Marci Beaucoup, I think, had the more straightforward draft, but Special Agent Blob made this one look more straightforward. They really played this very nicely. Punished Marci Beaucoup when they tried to steal their creep camp stacks, and brought this one home off of the early lead they were building. Well done by them. We'll see what Marci Beaucoup are going to do to respond to it when we come back. Alright, and we're back for game number 2 between Special Agent Blob and Marci Beaucoup. It's going to be our last game of the day. Had a lot of fun ones so far. See if we can get what's been so far in the league, a rare 1-1
10 seconds to go.
in our week 1 of matchups. I've seen a lot of 2-0s across the league. I think there was at least one 1-1 so far, and still a couple series left to play.
Dyer's ban.
Special Agent Blob with a pretty strong showing for their debut
10
as a
seconds
team
to go.
together. Taking down Marci Beaucoup in game 1. See what Marci
5
can do
seconds.
to bring this one back around for themselves. Game number 2. Starting off with the same bands, Nyx
Radiant's
Assassin,
ban.
Lich. Bloodseeker going to get taken out. I think that's earlier than it was banned last time. But I could be misremembering.
Dyer's ban.
We're going to ban the Queen of Pain right off the bat. Take that away from Spackle, who did have a very good showing on it.
10 seconds to go.
Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey probably in particular asking for that one because
5
it was a rough
seconds.
matchup in the mid lane.
Dyer's ban.
Viper going to be taken out by Special Agent Blob.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds.
They'll get one last ban here on
Radiant's
each side. It's going to be the Sniper for SAB.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds.
And Marci Beaucoup, what will they
Radiant's
take out?
pick.
Last, it'll be the Bristleback. I agree. Bristleback's way too strong a hero, and again, I'm pretty sure that's a Batman specialty, so good one to get out of there.
Ten seconds to go. 5 seconds.
Cannot fully
Dyer's
interpret what
Radiant's
Special Agent Blob's flag is. I see a Mike Wazowski, I see a Slardar, and then like a mushroom cloud with a face on it that is probably from some media that I'm not recognizing. The Mike Wazowski I get because their icon is I forget her name, but she's from Monsters Inc. And she makes sense as a blob.
10 seconds to go.
Yeah, Batman really wants that bristleback. Vengeful Spirit picked up Stolen by Marci Beaucoup. Yeah, because it was $G y'all playing it last time. Special Agent Blob. They'll take the Bounty Hunter. That's been a big one in the meta for position 4s. That guy's like, I think, considered basically the
10
best
seconds
position
to
4
go.
right now. So if you got somebody that plays it, it's a good one to pick
5
up.
seconds.
Spectre and Lena bands coming out again for
Dyer's
Marci Beaucoup. Wind Ranger going to be the ban for Special Agent Blob. Get into the second phase of the draft. Something to complement this Bounty Hunter. Kind of needs to be something that can lane a bit independently. Bounty is
10
not the
seconds to
most
go.
useful hero in lane. He's not bad. But
5
he's not
seconds.
like a Vengeful Spirit. And probably wants to be looking to make some early moves.
Radiant's pick.
It'll be the Shadow Demon, so not showing their hand on any cores yet, but Shadow Demon also a great support. Great save hero, so you've got good scouting in Bounty Hunter and great save on the Shadow Demon. The Spectre is a good ban when you see the Bounty
10
Hunter,
seconds to go.
because of the vision and scouting that the Bounty Hunter is going to do.
5
The
seconds.
Dawnbreaker or the Nature's Prophet we haven't seen as much lately. Dawnbreaker is the other big meta, like
Radiant's
global
pick.
TP one. Spirit Breaker, also here we haven't really been seeing, but is another good global presence hero, so they'll take that away. That's a little interesting to pick into the Shadow Demon. The Shadow Demon is considered one of the better counters
10
to Spirit
seconds to
Breaker.
go.
Like, I first started learning how to play Shadow Demon when
5
Spirit
seconds.
Breaker was top of the meta.
Dyer's pick.
So we'll see how that plays out for them. And they're going to take the Dawnbreaker. So they're going to say, okay, we know what you want to do with this bounty hunter, but we are going to be the ones who go very hard in the paint for global presence.
10 seconds to go.
So yeah, the Dawnbreaker, I mean, it's
5
pretty open
seconds.
because the Nyx Assassin was banned out. You don't really have a spot in your draft for a Silencer anymore unless you want to get a little weird with it. So the Dawnbreaker game looks pretty open. I think that might be a Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey specialty. I feel like I recall seeing Great Uncle Bailey play Dawnbreaker frequently in casts last year. It feels familiar to me, but I might be thinking of a different player. Void Spirit can be picked up by Special Agent Blob. Interesting that they pick up presumably a mid-Void Spirit, but maybe they'll play it elsewhere. This early in the draft when they have a last pick. But maybe you want to get it before Marci Beaucoup get the chance to ban 2 more heroes.
5 seconds.
And we'll see what they want to complement that with. Gotta show another core. Okay, you could, like, carry Void Spirit's a thing. Dragon Knight doesn't really give us any information. He should be carry. Like, this should be your mid and carry and you're saving offlane for last pick. Unless, like, the Bounty Hunter's offlane. Like, Core Bounty Hunter is perfectly viable. Not as common, but it works.
10 seconds to go.
And I think they've got a decent team to play around it. Shadow Demon Dragon Knight used to be a really good combo, and it's still fine. But it's not as good as it used to be, because Dragon Knight Illusions used to be really good. And so just having a way to make more Dragon Knights was great. But they're not as strong as they used to be. I forget if they, like, don't even apply the splash damage anymore. Might be the thing that happens with it. It's something like that.
Radiance ban.
And I know, like, when Dragon Form ends, it ends on the illusions too, so you can't, like, extend the duration of DK ult. Razor will be the pickup for Marci Beaucoup, so this gives me more of an indication that I'm right about Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey playing this
10 seconds to go.
This Dawnbreaker in the mid lane.
5 seconds.
Because normally we'd see Dawnbreaker in the off lane, but Razor is mostly an off laner right now. Razor's another guy that can go in any position. Honestly, Dawnbreaker can go in any core position too. And the Spirit Breaker could still be a core. I think more likely is going to be a support. Maybe we'll lane with the Razor. I think that's a pretty nice duo because the Razor doesn't mind being left alone too much. And the Spirit Breaker can frontline for him and then go roam elsewhere with the charge. Billbound out, Centaur, so they're thinking along what I'm thinking, that they need an offlaner. Marci Beaucoup, I think, need a carry, but Dawnbreaker or Razor could easily be their carry. But I'd still be banning, like, more traditional hard carries, because I think that gives you a more straightforward draft. Could be something in particular to pair with the Venge, like a Drow or a Shadow Fiend. Might be heroes I'd be thinking about at this stage. But also just something more durable. I wouldn't mind either. They're going to ban the Marci, so maybe they're thinking that this Spirit Breaker or the Vengeful Spirit is a core. Like, that's something else I haven't talked about. What Vengeful Spirit core is viable.
10 seconds to go.
I don't know if I'd say good still at this point, but it's a thing you can do. What I like about Dota, a lot of heroes can be played in any position, even if it's not
Radiance ban.
Traditional or ideal, it still can work if you do it right. Magnus is going to be the other ban. So Marci can be played carry too. And Magnus is another one that slots into all 3 core roles. But I think we've been seeing more Magnus carry lately, just using Empower for his own game.
5 seconds.
Empower on a Dawnbreaker could be scary. I've never seen that one in particular. Centaur taken out. Maybe go with the
Radiant's
Tide
good.
ban. They'll do the Axe. Any Blink Initiator, I think, makes sense. I think that would be a good pick for Special Agent Blob. So maybe they end up going with the Tide Hunter. Steal it away from Marci Beaucoup. Though with the last pick, it's not really stealing anymore. There's also a chance like this Void Spirit's going in a weird position, and that's why they picked it early, and they're gonna pick some other mid laner.
5 seconds.
I wouldn't mind a proper frontliner from Special Agent Blob. They could go for like the Slardar. It'd be pretty good. Get some art like that's gonna amplify your Dragon Knight's damage even more. What did Marci Beaucoup want? I feel like they have like their front line is kind of dive, but I think that's okay because other than the Shadow Demon, you don't have a lot of diving to do. Special Agent Blob is a very brawly team, and you have answers for getting on top of the Shadow Demon. And once he's dealt with, you can fight. You don't have to worry about the saves. It is going to be important to get on top of him because it's going to be easy for him to get lost in the background. We're going to go with their good old Wraith King. That is, again, they played it 8 times last year, so it's one of their favorites. I think it works pretty well in this lineup. You've got Razor for some range. I mean, this is going to be... All of these fights are going to be brawly, because you don't have a lot of range on anybody.
5 seconds.
Except for Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon's your only true backline in this whole draft so far. But Marci Beaucoup have such good answers to the backline that you can't like try to take advantage of that and pick a backliner yourself. You kind of just need another hero to add to the brawl. Oh, I love that pick. I love that pick here. Did not cross my mind, but that is... When I say another hero to add to the brawl, that's another hero to add to the brawl. It is Strilling picking it up, so either they're swapping roles here, or it's going to be a support Pango, which I would love to see. That's something I've always wanted to make work as a support player who enjoys playing Pango, but it's never really felt meta, or like good enough to get away with to do in like a league game. Alright, sets... Oh, it's Relapse Gamer on the Dawnbreaker and Great Uncle Billy on the Razor. So unless they're swapping, it will be an off-lane Dawnbreaker. Lane works just as well either way. Hats draft. $3 Y'all does have that new Shadow Demon set. That Bounty Hunter set's a classic. Spackle looks great. That Dragon Knight set's sick. That's another one I feel like I haven't really seen. Yeah, this one's going to Special Agent Blob for hats. The Razor Arcana is doing a lot. I like that Spirit Breaker set too. There's not a lot of good Spirit Breaker sets. That one's not amazing, but is pretty good. I don't dislike it. Venge looks fine. It's tough. Tough eating for Venge now that you now that there's an Arcana. If you don't have the Arcana, then it... I don't want to take away points for not spending the money on the Arcana. It's a perfectly fine Venge set. Alright, and we're gonna get right into it. See where these heroes are gonna line up. So yeah, Cephalor on the Spirit Breaker. I feel like I remember that being the thing they did last year too. But like Pudge and Spirit Breaker were Cephalor's big heroes. Talismanic having egg.
Someone's having technical
Why
difficulties.
didn't did they forget to set the league? That should have auto paused. I think they didn't set the league. Uh-oh. Does say live game 2. But normally in a league, if somebody disconnects, it auto-pops. Also wild, for some reason Dota Buff is considering like every series as a best of 7. I don't know why. I saw it happen to one series last year, but now it's like every single series. Okay, we're gonna get back into it. Hopefully they did set the league. They did for game 1 at least. And, you know, we've got video record of the game. Ooh, talismanic on 800 ping. Well, that's not a Dota issue, that's an internet issue. That is rough. Hopefully you can get that sorted out. Let's see if they can get it fixed. Everyone shuts off Netflix. Dragon Dragon Knight's particle effects got left behind over here. Still think this set is cool. He's like a proper knight. Got a jousting lance and everything. What set is this? Silverworm Sacrifice. That dragon looks. I look forward to seeing it. Back. Well, that's a different set than we saw before. This one's also good. This helmet's sick. Man, I kept forgetting to fix my map cosmetics. Alright, weirdly the horn didn't sound correctly because of the pauses. Or maybe we had the horn and I forgot. Runes get split evenly. Let's see. Okay, how are these people stacking up? Okay, so Sterling has a Quelling Blade and Power Shreds Q. So this is Sterling going off lane. This is not a support tank. Pointicus making the move over to position 4. And then $G$ y'all going from position 4 to 5. Getting patched up immediately by Cephalord. First level in the batch, rather than the charge. Does have 3 stacks of poison on them. No, I just forgot... Forgot what Shadow Demon's innate did. Neat. I feel like it's very hard to use because he's not really a right clicker. First blood, as is tradition, we do not see on the screen. I hide it from you so that you cannot see the first blood happen. You may only hear the first blood. It's Pointicus bringing down Vengeful Spirit. And they're going to look for second blood here. Talismanic is going to get brought down. We'll have a chance to look for one last hit. Like, get it. Double kill for Pointicus. This is... I said Bounty Hunter wasn't that strong of a laner, but it can be... Oh, the Courier, too. Oh. Cruel. Cruel and unusual. Although for Bounty Hunter, kind of usual. So Special Agent Blob already in good standing. Start things off. Couple quick kills for Pointicus, gonna get that bracer out nice and early. How's this mid lane going? Spackle, still giving trouble to Greg Polino's Great Uncle Daily. Let's get bailed out by a creep on that Void Remnant. Skeletons do so much damage to early levels. Sterling getting a little scraped up from these guys. Lotus gonna get grabbed by both the position 4s. There's a courier dead on this side too. Seth Lord killed off Batman's courier. These drafts, I mean, this is again a pretty straightforward draft from Marci Beaucoup as far as their plan for how they fight this. The global movement, I think, is going to be key, taking advantage of that as much as they can. But other than that, I think there's a danger of Special Agent Blob getting some more early kills and being able to snowball from there. Top contesting the stack, charging forward onto $G$, y'all. Maybe wanted that courier, but we'll just pressure onwards. Skeletons are such a menace. Oh, I'm getting tired, sorry. Lots of casts, but these matches have all been fun. And once we get into the action, it'll wake me right up. Spackle starting to build an early lead here, but Great Uncle Daily still holding pretty stable. Yeah, despite all the harass from the skeletons, Sterling out to a bit of a good lead. And the Talismanic with a few more denies. Oh my god. Playing so aggressive with these skeletons, gets the stun up, and now stepping under tower. Oh, and Raiden with one more hit. The blood grenade isn't enough. Gets the shield crash. Pointicus trying to turn it around, trying to bring down Raiden. That's going to be a killing spree. And now looking towards Talismanic. Sterling, never a doubt. Oh, the stun again. Talismanic wants to find that big crit, but controlled up by Pointicus. The Janata stuns. Keeping the Wraith King away from the Pango. Seth Lord gonna go steal the bounty rune, and now charging over towards mid. This would be a big pickup. They do bring down Great Uncle Bailey. Raiden makes the rotation over, and Seth Lord gets the return kill. Also going to steal that Legion rune, make sure the Void Spirit doesn't get it later. Oh, meanwhile, Pointicus getting the kill onto the Wraith King. 5-1 now. Special Agent Blob getting that early momentum going, which I think is their ticket to winning this game. Oh, and off of the respawn, Spackle's going to come up top. They're going to set up on a relapse gamer. Wasn't expecting this rotation. Although getting caught up in the creeps in the trees, and now Relapse Gamer and Cephalor, they're getting the space they needed to get out of here. Pointing has made the rotation up here too. Spackle's going to chase forward. Meanwhile, down in the bot lane, Strilling goes down to Talismanic. Relapse Gamer trying to get away through the trees. Batman trying to close this out. Has the Dragon Tail, has to use it on the Cephalor, but had the Bulldoze going, so it's a little shortened. Pointing is now getting back in. Huge charge from Cephalor. Gonna try to secure the Wisdom Rune. Relapse Gamer is the one who picks it up. They finally bring down the Dawnbreaker, but it's 4 heroes here, and they're just gonna get these 2 kills. Cephalor finally gonna get brought down as well, but that took so much effort. And they didn't even steal the Wisdom Rune. Strilling is gonna get the one on the other side off of the respawn. Oh, Great Uncle Bailey wants to get some revenge here, and is actually going to get a cleanup on G$, y'all. That's a nice little pickup for the Razor, who didn't have the best start in the lane, is going to find good opportunities to get back into this by finding kills like that. Cephalor covering the lane for now. Raiden going to make their way over. Pointic is kind of stalking around in the area as well. Leaves the side lanes solo. All the supports come in. They're going to fight for the Illusion Rune. Cephalor is going to be the one that picks it up. Link onto Spackle, but immediately able to step away. Try to get some damage in onto this mid tower now. The $'s here, though. Pointicus getting the Janana onto Raiden. Urge down bot from Cephalor. They want to find something on Strilling. No point in reincarnation yet. Has the Wraithfire Blast. Now I'm going to step up. And here comes the rotation in from the Dawnbreaker. This is that global presence we're talking about. They're all going to step up on the Pango. Don't quite have the Starbreaker and able to swashbuckle away. And now Spackle's coming in. They want the punish. And if they get the Wraith King here without the point in the ult, this is going to be brutal for Talismanic. Trying to chase away, Strilling rolling through, but Great Uncle Bailey's in now too. Talismanic trying to stand their ground. Spackle just manages to dodge, and Talismanic will go down. Now they're going to charge through, trying to finish off the Void Spirit. Will finally go down. Batman showing up as well, has the Dragon Form. That's going to be big AoE damage, even at the early levels. It's a lot for the moment. Raiden gets the stun onto Strilling. Still would like to finish off this Pango. Great Uncle Bailey goes down first, but Relapse Gamers into the Starbreaker now gets caught up in the disruption. Pointicus trying to get away from all these creeps. They bring down Relapse Gamers. Cephalor trying to finish off Pointicus. Raiden finally gets it. It's a whole 5v5 in the safe lane at minute 9. And are they going to be able to run down Cephalor? G$, y'all, trying to find the Shadow Poison stacks, but they are going to go back away, give up the chase. My goodness. 3 dead on either side. Kinda just a wash, as far as that goes. Slight gold favored for Marci Beaucoup, which is what they need. A little bit of extra XP there as well. So, slightly favoring them. But what an incredible brawl to happen so early in the game. Oh, Talismanic farming deep up here. Batman and Pointicus don't want to let this happen. They have the track out. Does have a point in reincarnate now. Not going to let that happen twice. These tracks mean they're going to be able to try to run down these. Oh, and Strilling's there with the swashbuckle. Rolling Thunder as well. They're going to find the first life of Talismanic. I think that will finally connect it. Relapse Gamer also trying to stick around in the area. Strilling staying on top of them. Starbreaker to try to get away. Doesn't actually find the control. Great Polino's Great Uncle Bailey here. Now it's another giant brawl around this Lotus Pool. Marci Beaucoup limping away. Strilling trying to keep them in control. Great Polino's Great Uncle Bailey is going to pay for the sins of their friends, as they are the one who falls. Well, Talismanic and Relapse Gamer limp away. Cephalor is still getting a ton of XP just like covering these lanes. Spackle again getting a little unlucky with the creep positioning. Down bot, control onto Strillings. Solar Guardian coming through. Starbreaker just off the mark again. Raiden getting the damage out, but also taking a bunch back the other way. The shield crash barrier is big. Now Spackle's in off of the TP. The fight has been brought back. Relapse Gamer is the one to go down. Spackle picks off Raiden as well. Strilling this barrier, cannot keep getting away with this. Great Uncle Bailey's in, but so is Pointicus. Here comes Cephalord charging in, really wants to finish off this Pangolier. The ult will finally do it. Now Great Uncle Bailey's going to try to turn, but immediately interrupts that link with the disruption. Now just has to try to get away. Will be able to. Disruption is a great answer to that Razor static link. Pointicus still looking to get some tracks, but Cephalord going to go in. Spackle's right here still, though. Get the control up. Pointicus is going to get brought down finally, but do they have what they need to get away now? Cephalord swapped out. Right, making sure that they get away. Great Uncle Bailey does commit the ult. Make it harder if, especially if Blob want to re-engage, which it looks like they do. Choose not to go under the tower, but now they commit their Rolling Thunder. And trying to, just running in circles, staying away from this Pango. Now they get the stun. The Wraith King Skeletons all chipping in some damage as well. And now the link up onto Strilling after the Rolling Thunder ended. Charge through, trying to get the bash back, trying to swashbuckle away, shield crash for some more barrier, but the link keeps going. Finally ends. Great Uncle Bailey, doesn't get the chance to use the damage, goes down. Raiden falls as well. G $ finally goes down. I guess back over here. It's just so much happening. This is such a wild game. 10-16 at 13 minutes. We're at a kill per minute per team on average. Game is wild. And I don't know, I mean, lately it's Special Agent Blob who's getting the best of this, because Batman has not needed to show up to the more recent chaos. Oh, now Relapse Gamer is in trouble. Has the Demonic Purge on them, that's going to pop, and now the Disruption to hold them in place. Batman going to be there to set up. Does have a good amount of speed with those phase boots, going to look to Solar Guardian away, and successfully escapes with the ult. Well played. Talismanic is there waiting with the high five, and they're going to work together to take down this tower. Spackle in onto Great Uncle Bailey. Now Cephalord's in charge. Batman now making the rotation to mid, so now looking to get involved in the fight. Still has the Dragon form from trying to kill off the Dawnbreaker. Great Uncle Bailey going to get pushed back. Now there's going to be the TP in from Talismanic. Ends up kind of awkwardly on the high ground. And now Raiden swapping to get away from the other supports on the enemy team who are chasing down the Venge. Now everybody's in the mid lane, and we're doing a full team brawl again, potentially. See how much Special Agent Blob want to commit to this. They have a Damage Amp and a Rolling Thunder on the Pango. I'm a little surprised they don't go for that, but I think they respect the fact that Marci is pretty fully backed away under their towers. Man, these teams heard that I was feeling a little sleepy during the the laning stage, and they were like, don't worry, we won't keep you waiting on the action for long. My goodness.
Dire's mid tower won't last much longer. Dire's mid tower's having technical difficulties.
Ooh, Pointicus scouting out for Spackle. Oh, this is going to be a big one. Has the track, has the initial control. They're going to find Talismanic once, I think. Trying to chase down. The last Shuriken will do it. Great Uncle Bailey getting the link. But again, the disruption. But now Spackle is left all alone. They have so much control. They bring down the Void Spirit. Strilling rolling in with the Rolling Thunder. Great Uncle Bailey getting controlled up. The rest of Marci Beaucoup looking to connect with them. Shuriken comes out, bouncing through the tracked targets. But Strilling is now the one who's a little low and gets bashed up and brought down. Batman now showing up, trying to control Raiden. But it's going to be the one that gets stunned up. That Wraithfire Blast connects. And now the charge. Out onto Batman, this would be a big one, and now here comes Great Relapse Gamer with the Solar Guardian, but not able to connect for any more control. Does make sure that the rest of the team gets out of there safely. These illusions from the Shadow Demon getting a decent chunk of damage on the Venge. Marci Beaucoup getting a little bit of a lead, getting a nice trade in that fight. Really 2 for nothing, because they just spent the Reincarnate on Talismanic. They're going to make some Wraith King illusions. which are hitting pretty hard. Talismanic has to be careful here. It's actually going to go down. Just the damage of the two supports didn't respect his own illusions, plus the Janata and Shuriken damage. I mean, they get the tower, but that's not a kill you want to give up, but that's alright. They will smoke up, so even with the Wraith King down, ooh, if they can find Spackle, I think they saw them farming on this. Well, doesn't get the chance to get the stun. Have the step away, has the vision. Can they complete this? Oh, the vision is just enough for Cephalor to get the charge in. Has the Nether Strike. Stunned up all of the control. Starbreaker through, but the shields are keeping them alive for now, but it's not going to be enough. Relapse Gamer finishes off the kill. Dusted up, Disruption is there. They want to try to control this Dawnbreaker, see if they can get a return kill. Pointicus has the damage coming in, Swap's there from waiting for the save. All of them getting trapped up, charge back through. Now can they turn this around on Pointicus? Still a bit before another stun, not enough for Relapse Gamer to commit in with the Starbreaker. And all of them are tracked, so those shurikens start getting more and more scary. Have his drums on the Bounty Hunter. Something on the Courier might be the rest of the Solar Crest, it sure is. Force Staff nearly done for the Shadow Demon. Strilling getting found, finishing off the mid tower, and it's going to go down. Nice attempt by $2 y'all, but now is getting linked up, and with no disruption, there's no way to break it. Cephalord wants more. Cephalord wants Pointicus, has the charge, has the control. Spackle, though, there with the stun, but here comes the rest of the team. Talismanic showing up as well. Pointicus, they have so much control for Marci Beaucoup. It's so hard to get away from this team because everybody has a way to stop you in your tracks, just about. The Void Remnant connects onto Raiden, but it looks like they won't be able to commit in. Solar Crest from Raiden onto the cores to help this tower push get going. Just be careful, here comes the Rolling Thunder. Can't stick around too long, they're going to go in on Raiden, recognizing the lack of mana. Sterling trying to finish off this Vengeful Spirit. Relapse Gamer falling a little low too. Great Uncle Bailey, though, in the middle of everything. Now going to get the Link. Sterling doesn't have a way to get out immediately, but there's the Disruption again. It's been such a thorn in the side for this Razor. Now the Void Remnant onto Relapse Gamer. They bring down the Wraith King once. He's right back in it with the Reincarnate. Oh, one last Shuriken is going to bring him down. Stun up on both the Wraith King and the Void Spirit. Talismanic trying to chase away, trying to find a kill, but is just going to get brought down. Trying to get some last bit of damage for the rest of Marci Beaucoup. They're forced onto the retreat. They're out of resources. They're out of friends. And that fight swings things back. That's kind of what I thought this graph was gonna look like. Yeah, win probability has been dead in the middle, and it's a swingy game, which is fun. Do you have pretty big threat on towers? I mean, Dragon Knight's not the threat that he used to be, or that he is if you choose the Acid Dragon facet, but then you don't get to farm like it all. As the train keeps rolling, Cephalord finds the charge on Strilling. The vision has been great for Cephalord to find all these charges. Batman in on the backline, though, and Strilling able to swashbuckle shield crash away. Raiden's still trying to control up Batman. Want to get the turnaround kill, but the rest of Marci Beaucoup is looking back over towards the supports. Now they get the swap on Batman, going to steal Illusion Rune. Here comes the charge. If you stall for long enough, the global presence, it's gonna connect. Starbreaker on top. Solar Guardian connects down, Relapse Gamer gets the kill. And they are simply never done. Raiden wants more. Charge onto Strilling again, scouted out with the Venge Yell, and the hammer flies through. Relapse Gamer picks up another. Now the Link onto Pointicus. $2 is there, ready, looking for the disruption. Spackle's in as well, but low on mana. But the track's there. Great Uncle Bailey just gets absolutely blown up. $2 y'all finishes it off with that Demonic Purge. Relapse Gamer now just trying to Celestial Hammer away, but no, the Void Remnant completely denies it. Pulls them back to the low ground. Tracked up, swap away though. Raiden in now, but not a ton to work with. Cephalord charging in as well. That's going to at least get the heat off of Relapse Gamer, but still wants to try to get back into this. Now Disruption onto Cephalord. It's somebody has to die. Somebody must be lost on Marci Beaucoup, and it is finally the Cephalord who goes down. My goodness. It was like taking turns who was gonna be the one who was gonna die. Was it gonna be Relapse Gamer? Was it gonna be Ryan who swaps in? Then the charge is... Oh, Ryan's actually gonna get walked down here too as they go to look to continue their push mid, which they were doing at some point before that last fight broke out.
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
And this is... It's only 22 minutes in. This is such a fun game. And with how, like, evenly distributed this net worth is... Actually, what's a little crazy is how far ahead Cephalord is from Great Uncle Bailey. As they're still hunting! And they're gonna find Batman! Do they have enough damage to bring this guy down? Doesn't look like it. They'll be forced to back away. Oh, they spot Pointicus is going to get into the Shadow Walk. So they'll need some kind of detection. They have the detection. They have the swap back. They have the link. And they're going to have their kill on Pointicus. Sterling wants to respond to this with the Rolling Thunder, getting the Fusel out, slowing down Raiden, but still just kiting in a circle. But now the rest of the team shows up. They get the control. The disruption kind of prolongs the life, but the Swashbuckle will finish it off. Cephalord charging through everybody out onto the Shadow Demon. The big target to get buyback from Pointicus as well. Wants to try to turn this around, wants to punish them for taking this fight so close to their tower, and they're going to get the Janata, the control, onto Great Uncle Bailey. Cephalord getting finished off as well. Spackle chasing through and is going to finish them off, so they get their punish. Great buyback from Pointicus. Just absolutely, like, getting the value, recognizing the fact that this fight is close to the tower. I have TP. I can help make sure we turn this around. And you get so much extra gold on this hero that it is... like, it is not nearly as punishing for him to be the one buying back than it would be for a lot of support heroes at this stage. Working on the Pipe of Insight, playing for the team. Solar Crest, drums, pipe. I wouldn't mind seeing that Boots of Bearing recipe get picked up sooner. So you can get your charges back. Speaking of charges. Cephalord in onto Strilling. Has the Shadow Blade though, so they're just going to bounce right back. The dust does not catch Cephalord. Swap back on point because that's a nice one. This is a good, nice dieback to punish. Oh, now they get the Nether Strike. That's going to hold off the Rolling Thunder for now. The Force Staff pushes Strilling through and help them get away. Disruption to control the Razor. Nice bash. Keeps them in range of the Solar Guardian, so they'll get the two supports. Strilling does manage to escape with the Rolling Thunder. Marci, Beaucoup, the ping is immediately on to Spackle. The Cephalord constantly wants to find a nice dodge with the Dissimulate. Yeah, Dissimulate and Disseminate in this game. Don't mix those up. Yeah, dodging the charge with the Dissimulate, very well timed. Spackle does not want to give this tower up, but without your support, it's a little harder. They'll use the Fortify to try to get to the respawn timers of those supports. Shadow Demon's going to be on their way back in, and Marci, Beaucoup know that's coming. They back away. Can they back away fast enough? Does Cephalord have somewhere to charge? Relapse Gamer going to TP out. Looks like everybody will get out safely.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
Next target will be one that is much easier to chase down. The Tormentor does not move from its spot. Hide down in place. That shard goes to the Vengeful Spirit. That's a great one to have once again. Double magic missile. Is always good value.
My patience is rewarded.
It's like Talismanic looking at the Orchid next. Love to see that.
Right now.
Going to be a great way to maintain control of these fights. So used to, like, I feel like that's the first time I've seen Cephalord charge a creep. I mean, I guess I saw him charge the Tormentor, but like, so used to the sound of Spirit Breaker charge, meaning get ready to do play-by-play for another fight. Maybe the track on Spirit Breaker that's gonna help them be prepared for when these ganks are coming out. As the tempo slowing down for the moment, let's check in on some items. We've got S and Y, BKB queued up for Dawnbreaker. Just getting another track. Ooh, they're going to spot out Strilling. Another strike and the stuns. Yeah, holds him right into the Solar Guardian. That's a nice little pickup. Swap onto G $, y'all. Charge through, but Batman's there. That's big splash damage coming out. This Dragon Knight has had a good amount of time to farm. Cephalord's going to go down. Talismanic's trying to stand in the middle of it. Great Uncle Bailey looking for the steal, but again getting disrupted. They do bring down Pointicus. Stun out onto the Dragon Knight, able to step away. Spackle now going to use the Assimilate, trying to escape as well. Just trying to kite around. Big silence onto 3. G $, y'all. Trying to Force Staff away as well, but the slows are there, the damage is there, and they bring down the Shadow Demon. All just huddling together, making sure their friends don't get picked up. And it's a 4K net worth lead for Special Agent Blob, but a really big fight for Marci Beaucoup. They start to get this to swing back the other way as the roller coaster keeps on a-rolling. Batman looking to punish Talismanic, sitting a little low on health, and a huge Rolling Thunder through. Spackle setting it all up. Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey already down. Reincarnate triggered on Talismanic. Relapse Gamer trying to survive with the Starbreaker. Strilling reconnects, gets the Swashbuckle. Pointicus does go down to the Wraith King. Looks like they're just going to try to retreat. If they only lose their Razor, and wow, that is genuinely an impressive retreat from Marci Beaucoup. Oh, Talismanic, though, maybe a little too greedy, maybe not retreating far enough. Reincarnate already used. There's no way to escape here. Batman's going to make sure that Talismanic does go down. I did a little bit of a caster's curse there, thinking they had all gotten away safely, but good on Special Agent Blob, getting a good read on where they would be retreating to, and punishing Talismanic. Actually, I say getting a good read. This ward, $3, y'all. I mean, maybe they just placed that while they were killing the Wraith King. I don't remember. 5.5 minutes. Yeah, I think that had to have been during the fight. I don't think they could have been over here that close before that. Relapse Gamer wants to finish off this tower. Spackle does not want that to happen. Astral Step in. Relapse Gamer chasing away. Has the Celestial Hammer, but another Astral Step. Now Batman's there with the Dragon Tail. Going to try to turn with the Starbreaker, but dead before the hammer swings down. So, not going to find that tower yet. Up on the other side, though. Polino's Great Uncle Bailey finds a kill. But now they're going to turn it around. Relapse Gamer, though, with the buyback, trying to save Raiden, but Raiden goes down. Great Uncle Bailey now the one in trouble. Relapse Gamer forced to just try to escape. And now this is looking troublesome for Marci Beaucoup. Series of unfortunate events for them. Where? How was Cephalord here? How are you charging this way? This guy's wild. This game is wild. But now it's looking scarier for Marci Beaucoup, although we're right back to a 50-50 win probability. It looks like Dota Plus favoring Marci Beaucoup a little bit, because even here where they're behind, giving them the advantage. And it has felt like they had a good amount of momentum, but now that last fight feels like the momentum is swinging back towards Special Agent Blob. And the bigger this Dragon Knight gets, the scarier it's going to be. This would be a good Roche to get. Strilling. Waiting here for Talismanic. Can potentially see the TP. Like, was not able to see it. Talismanic will go join the team taking the Roche. And it looks like they're going to get away with this on Marci Beaucoup. See if anybody gets a sniff of it. It looks like Pointicus has their suspicions. I think this is going to go down before the Bounty Hunter even sees anything in there. Oh, Pointicus. Yeah, okay. No Blink Dagger, no way to sneak in there. It'd be crazy. Oh, they have the vision here. Oh, Pointicus has stepped too close and will get brought down. Batman in the area as well. Has the Dragon form available. Strilling's here as well. They were actually thinking of looking to take the fight here, but with Pointicus already dead, it does not feel feasible to go in on this.
Structures like this. Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up. Guess what's happening to Dire's bottom tower?
Now with the Aegis in hand, they put it on Relapse Gamer as well, which is interesting. Probably just to cover the buyback that was used.
Bottom tower's getting the business.
That will allow them to take this tier 2 tower just before Pointicus respawns. Let's see, Special Agent Blob, can they catch any stragglers? You see these two heroes stepping this way. Batman blinking forward, wants, oh, the trees quite let them get in the way they want to, but now they turn around. They're ready for it, getting the static blink and to start draining that damage on Batman. It's pretty significant as Relapse Gamer now connects in. Big stun onto 3, but the Rolling Thunder, it's hitting everybody. Relapse Gamer swapped out. Greg Bueno's Great Uncle Billy is going to be the first to fall. Can they bring down Batman? Finally they do. Relapse Gamer now goes down. 2 reincarnates on top of each other. Now they're going to have 2 more core heroes back at full health. Big Starbreaker. Spackle now trying to force the getaway. Raiden finally goes down. Stun up onto Pointicus, trying to bring down the Bounty Hunter. Spackle chasing through, but not able to finish off the Spirit Breaker. Talismanic is going to go down the second time. Relapse Gamer still brawling with Spackle. Stun up onto Strilling, trying to finish them off. Gets the Swashbuckle back through. Cephlord back in. They finish off Relapse Gamer. And the Yule Cephlord is controlled up, trying to find space, but there's nowhere left to run. Triple kill for Spackle. Special Agent Blob find an incredible team fight. That was insane, the way everybody was stacked up, everybody respawning. It looked like they were going to be able to turn it around, but Strilling and Spackle just do not let it happen. This Void Spirit is becoming the true menace of this team. Top of the net worth now with Batman dying in that fight. Raiden? 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 Oh no. Rolling Thunder, they're not letting the Venge get away with this one. Tier 2 tower will fall. Special Agent Blob with by far the biggest lead of this game, as what was once a fun roller coaster is now a gradual slope down into the hands of Special Agent Blob. The respawns come up from Marci Beaucoup and on Special Agent Blob. See, heroes just getting back out onto the map. Full Silver Edge finished on Cephlord, help bring down... I think that's how a big part of how they were able to bring down that Dragon Knight. Let's see. Going for the crit on Spackle. Yeah, has the Crystalist, excuse me, done. Strilling has the Ags, Diffusal Blink. Talismanic with the Deso Armlet. looking to get the Orchid finally finished up. Looks like that'll be on its way once they call the courier. Oh, Relapse Gamer. Troublesome spot. Oh, goes for the Lotuses. Do they notice? They notice. $2 sign, y'all. They have the charge, though. They want to try to turn this around, but Batman's right there. This is going to be trouble. I don't know if Cephalor's going to connect in time. Trying to stay alive as long as they can. Gets the Solar Guardian on top of themselves. It's actually huge that they're able to survive that long. They bring down point against Spackle. Does finish it off. Godlike streak onto Spackle. Great Uncle Billy trying to get that static link going as much as possible, bringing down Batman's damage. It finally goes down. They do get the kill onto $G sign, y'all. Cephalor charging back in. But Spackle in. Oh, the double stun from Raiden from the Shard. They bring down Batman. Cephalor is going to go down, and now Strilling's back in. Once again, it's just Spackle and Strilling left standing. Can they clean up yet another fight? Raiden's going to be the first to go down. Ultra kill for Spackle. Talismanic does have 2 lives here, but what can they do? Spackle's taking literally 0 damage. Taunt back in. Spackle looking to clean it up. There's no armlet toggles to be had. Nothing that Talismanic can do. It's not a rampage because of how the Wraith King innate works, but it's a rampage in our hearts. Spackle cleans them all up. Once again, Strilling and Spackle, the only ones standing in the fight. How do you bring down these heroes? I mean, the Orchid, I assume, got used on the Void Spirit twice, I would hope. And it's just not enough. With all of the shields coming at, like, between your Resonant Pulse barrier, your Shield Crash barrier, there's just too much. There's too many barriers. You've got Pipe, you've got Solar Crest, Lord zipping through for a cheeky little charge. Rex Cow, no, this was not a support Razor. This was a mid Razor who's having a bit of a rough one. But we see the support Spirit Breaker kind of covering their ground there. Let's see, Roche may respawn in a minute. Still a bit before that timing, because it did get taken down. Cephalor charging through, finding maybe more than they bargained for, and they have the vision. Swap out from Raiden, but it's not going to be enough. The Demonic Purge finishes it off. Now BKB forced out from... Look at the health and the barriers. Like, what is happening on this health bar for Spackle? Relapse Gamer is going to go down. They still, like, they get through all the barriers, but there's no damage touching this Void Spirit. Insane.
Radiant's top tower's in bad shape. One last top tower for the Radiant. Radiant's top tower's hurt.
The last of the tier 2s gets brought down. Strilling and Spackle out over towards Raiden, and they find the Vengeful Spirit again.
Radiant's top tower's taking hits.
3 dead. That's going to open up the door for Special Agent Blob to bring down the first of the tier 3 towers, start onto the barracks. Vengeful Spirit respawning. Where did the Wraith King go? Spackle in immediately. The damage is too much now. And there's still just no touching this Void Spirit. Talismanic dead immediately. Great Uncle Bailey has the BKB, trying to get some links off, trying to get back to the fountain. Cephalor trying to bring down somebody. Strilling would be a big kill. They do find it. The Talismanic is dead. Great Uncle Bailey possibly falling behind after them. Talismanic has the buyback, but only 1 life to work with. Relapse Gamer with another Solar Guardian right in place. $G sign, y'all, is going to get hit by the big crit. Goes down. They finish off the barracks, charging forward now. Cephalor wanting to finish off Batman, has the break. Controlled up, doesn't have the Nether Strike quite up yet. Relapse Gamer chasing forward as well. Throws out the Celestial Hammer, another charge, the blink away, charge through Pointicus. The Nether Strike now is up, and they do manage to bring down Batman, but meanwhile, Spackle and Strilling again finish off Relapse Gamer, set up on Talismanic, still no Reincarnate, and that's going to be Wraith King dead once again. This Void Spirit Pangolier combo, there's just no answer. Every time you think Marci Beaucoup have found themselves a decent fight, a decent pick-off, you look back, and who's there? It's Spackle and Strilling on, like, full health. Despite being in, like, a 3-minute long fight. It's... there's simply no way to handle these heroes at this point. This Void Spirit has skyrocketed in this game. It's a 30k net worth lead. It was like 3k less than 10 minutes ago. They're going to get control onto Strilling. Rolls into the ball, bounces off the wall, tries to sidestep away, but does get brought down. But Spackle's still going to be able to step away. You get a kill. The Lincolns blocks the charge. Any hope of continuing to chase down this Void Spirit, trying to find something when you have a bit of an upper hand, simply not going to get it. Scotty finished on the Void Spirit along with the Crystallis, going to look to eat that Ags, make room for more to continue to scale. We said in the draft it's probably a mid-Void Spirit, which it was, but that maybe could be carry, and at this point, it's a carry Void Spirit. I mean, just in a league of their own in this net worth. Cephalord, this is something you see happen with Spirit Breakers, especially when you're behind on your team. Climbing up to the top of the team's net worth. Just being able to constantly keep these waves pushed, keep the team in the game. But I really don't know what the answer is for Spackle here. Maybe we need a Nullifier for the shields. I don't know if Nullifier works on all of those shields. As now into the Roach Pit goes Special Agent Blob, and this one's going to be uncontested. They'll have a banner to help in their pushes. And Aegis for Spackle. I don't think you needed the Aegis on Spackle. I honestly think you would have been better off giving that to your Dragon Knight or your Pangolier. Because I don't think it's possible for Spackle to die again in this game, just from what I've seen. Even with all the control that they have on the side of Marci Beaucoup, I don't think it's enough. Oh, Talismanic is in a troublesome spot. They've got the Dragon Tail. They've got so much control. It's gonna be 2 deaths here. And I don't... Oh, the blink away! They have no idea where... That was clutch. Yeah, that is a well-deserved tip. That... I didn't think there was any chance Talismanic was getting out of there. That is 1 life down. With the Roshan's banner... Cephalord is going to try to slow down this push. Another strike to get the Dragon Knight back into the base, but here comes Strilling, rolling in deep, saying, you are not going to come anywhere near my team, or... Well, the creep's actually kind of chased out, but... Yeah, Batman has an absurd amount of attack speed now. Oh, Talismanic in trouble. Relapse Gamer is there with the Solar Guardian. Get the control on Talismanic. Getting the link, the swap back, trying to bring down Pointicus at least to get things started. Spackle now back in the middle. Silenced up, this could be their opportunity to bring them down once, but Talismanic is the one falling low. We are seeing a scratch applied to this god. Now Great Uncle Bailey controlled up in the middle there. It's all falling apart. It looked like they might be able to bring them down, but Spackle says, oh, so you can make me bleed. I see, I will have to punish you further then. Relapse Gamer forced back into the base. Another set of barracks falls, and there's not much Marci Beaucoup can stop from the Megas being found. Great Uncle Bailey will buy back Cephalor charging forward. They want to try to find this Pangolier, but immediately the Razor's stunned up. Disruption onto the Spirit Breaker. Strilling trying to roll through all of them. The Razor goes down again. Relapse Gamer falling apart as well. Spackle is not going to die. They are all dead. They're on to the tier 4s. There's no buybacks. This one is over. What was a back and forth game for so long. Special Agent Blob completely blow up with a series of impressive team fights. GG is called. Special Agent Blob take the 2-0 victory in Week 1. Wow, what a showing from Special Agent Blob. Again, their debut as a team together. I'm sure some of these players have played games here and there together, because I recognize just about all of them from past seasons. But really impressive stuff. All right, Spackle. I haven't been saying MVPs today. I kind of forgot about that as a concept. This one uncontested. This one's the least interesting MVP I could give out, because what an insane performance from Spackle. This Void Spirit was in a league of their own. Like, it actually was the Dragon Knight and the Void Spirit for a while, and then I can tell you exactly what happened here, and it was that fight near Roche after Marci Beaucoup took their Roche. Yeah, that was where the game just completely broke open. Incredible stuff. I've had a long day of casting, so I'm not going to do any interviews today, unfortunately. Because I can already feel that my voice is not happy with me. And it's getting late, so I need to go to bed. But this was really fun. Really enjoying WLDL so far. It's just Week 1, and we've already had amazing games. Looking forward to seeing even more of what all of these teams have to offer. It's going to be a great season. I've got great expectations for a lot of these. Check out the Discord if you want to see more. We've got a couple more matchups in Week 1, and then our Week 2 matchup should be coming out very soon as well. So you'll see those starting to get scheduled. So we've got plenty of action still to come. Again, this is just the beginning, and I'm super excited for it. So that's going to do it for us today. We had two 2-0 series. Drip taking the 2-0, Special Agent Blob taking the 2-0. Great performances from these teams. And honestly, still a solid showing from Harry Potter and the Glizzy Goblet and Marci Beaucoup. Especially this game 2 was super close for Marci Beaucoup for quite a while. So I think they've got what it takes to put things back together and keep things rolling for themselves. So yeah, that's going to do it. Thanks everybody for joining. Again, check out the Discord to see when more games are coming, and have a great week.